So I, like I said, run the intern program at Sealaska. I actually interned with Sealaska back in 2017. And it was just a wonderful, starting off my career after college. And now it's my wonderful privilege to be able to bring students into the company and our different partnership companies and share with them some career opportunities. So I just wanted to start with talking about why we have internships in the first place. So why this program exists. The main purpose of, well, I will also speak to you as someone who might be interested in applying to this or someone who you might know who's interested. So the purpose of this internship is to have you gain a preview of what a career path or a job might be. So likely you are a student and you're learning something in college or in some sort of post-secondary training, and an internship is there to give you over the summer some preview of what that path might look like for a job after college for you. We also were very interested in making sure we're supporting our students' goals. So I encourage everyone who comes into the summer program with us to think about what goals you have, what you might want to learn, and make sure that you share that with us. And that could be something about, time management. It could be really understanding what a day in the life of this certain career path is. And so making sure you have those goals ahead of time is really important, and sharing those so we can help you achieve those. And then the last thing that's really unique and cool about the Sealaska intern program is that you get to be surrounded by other Alaska Native students from across the country. So it really becomes a sharing opportunity to learn about their how they experience their culture, where they grew up, and then you get to share in that as well. So it's a wonderful network of peers that you get to learn from and grow with. And the hope is that as you go into your careers, that you have this support network of other interns around you. These pictures are all of our last summer intern class, which you're going to hear from one of them in a few minutes. I wanted to talk through the basics of what the summer intern program is at Sealaska. It goes through the summer, and it starts mid-June and goes to late August. We find that it's really important that the class all start around the same time and end around the same time. This gives them the ability to create a class and a cohort mentality together. And they work on trainings together. We have a lot of workforce development. We go over resumes, LinkedIn, career coaching. We have coaches meet with our interns. So it's just a whole cohort community. We also have a lot of cultural activities that we do, art, language. We hear from elders. So it's just throughout the summer important to meet together. And this timeline is between quarter and semester students' schedules. So that's something we keep in mind. The program is for Sealaska shareholders, their descendants, or a spouse of a shareholder. So that's in line with our shareholder employment policy. And you must be currently enrolled in college or post-secondary institution or a recent graduate. The point of an internship is it's a learning opportunity to go alongside something you are working toward in post-secondary. So it's important that all of our applicants are students. Also, something I wanted to mention, a lot of our internships can take place remotely, and they have the last few years. And it'll say in each job description on Sealaska's website whether it's remote or whether it needs to take place on site. So look into those and see what is important to you as far as if you'd like to be remote or you would like to work on site with our teams. Just some more details here. The applications for all of our internships close on Monday, January 23rd. So you have a few months. I encourage you to use your end of the year holiday break to apply. I think that's a great time to do it. The sooner you apply, the more time you can have an interview with me, and then it goes on from there in the application process. So I encourage early applicants because we do review those applications as they come in. Some things you will need to have in order to apply is a resume, an unofficial transcript from your school, and some of them ask for cover letters or writing samples. So make sure that you look at the job description details for those. They're all paid. All of our internships are also full-time. So throughout the summer, it's 40 hours a week that you're expected to be working. Like I talked about, we have a class of interns that do career development workshops and different things together, which are always wonderful. And the URL there is sealaska.com/careers. That is where you're going to find all of our job postings, including our summer internships, which are open now. Just to go over the kind of internships that we offer, we have a lot of different kinds. And like the video, Tesla in the video mentioned, we also have externships or interns that are placed with our partner organizations that offer other kinds of roles that Sealaska doesn't have ourselves. So we have with the Sustainable Southeast Partnership, there's a storytelling intern with them. With our Heritage Institute, they have anthropology and museum studies and education types of internships. Tlingit and Haida has social work for their internships. We also have some financial partners, and they have internships in Anchorage that are really wonderful career experience. So those are just our partner ones, but basically there's kind of these 4 categories that our internships fall into: culture and community, science and natural resources. We have a lot of teams working on our lands in Southeast Alaska that need stream restoration and making sure our forests are healthy. We have business internships, lots of different kinds, from human resources to accounting to finance. Huna Totem has internships with us this year. They have a hospitality internship and they have a lot of business functions. So if you are a Huna Totem shareholder, I encourage you to apply to those ones. And engineering and technology, we have construction internships, we have geographical information systems, more of our technical teams. So lots of different kinds. So I encourage you to look and see and apply to any that look interesting to you. I wanted to end my little talk about the intern program with some tips. I'm a recruiter. I'm the one who will first be interviewing you if you choose to apply to the intern program. So I just wanted to give a few tips of when you're talking to a recruiter, they are looking at your resume. So make sure that you're filling in the gaps of your resume with what you learned during those experiences. I also want to say that every experience that you have, whether that's babysitting or working at a coffee shop or mowing lawns for your neighbors or anything, that is all experience that is absolutely valid toward applying to an internship and thinking about what classes you've taken and how that applies. So make sure that you are talking about what you are hoping to learn. You don't need to know what your dream job or your like perfect fit is or anything like that right off the bat. It's more about what do you feel like this internship is going to help you get toward your next step, and how is this internship going to get you there? So just some things to think to keep in mind. Okay, so I wanted to introduce one of our former interns from this last summer, Barbara Belk. She did our Indian Child Welfare Act legal internship, or ICWA for short, with Tlingit and Haida. And I just wanted to hear from her, and so you can all hear some of the things that she gained from her internship. So I'm going to stop sharing so we can all see each other. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for being here. Can you just start introducing yourself of where you're from, where you're calling in from, and what you do currently?
Yeah, first, Amagadi Sulhiach, Satatnis Newsome. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to recognize first that I am videoing in from Coast Salish, Duwamish, and Stillaguamish lands in the Seattle area. So yeah, like Kayla mentioned, I was an Indian Child Welfare Act legal intern. This was a partnership with the Tlingit and Haida tribes of Alaska. I did work this internship remotely. I was one of two interns as part of this team. One of us was able to do this internship in Juneau, and I did mine remotely. Um, and it was an incredible experience. I loved it so much. This was something I did between my junior and senior years of undergraduate school. I'm a student at the University of Washington studying social work. Um, and yeah, now I am in my senior year, and also this internship actually translated into a job. So I am now working for Tlingit and Haida in a more long-term capacity in a similar role that my internship was.
Amazing, exciting. Thank you. So I just wanted to hear from you one thing that you feel like you gained from the internship experience professionally.
Yeah, obviously I gained a lot because it became my profession. But for sure, the thing that I took most from the internship was the connections that it gave me. I was able to work with an incredible team at Tlingit and Haida. And the work I did as an ICWA intern was done with Tlingit and Haida. But See Alaska also offered a lot of opportunities by way of lunch and learns and a group project that I was able to work on with other interns to connect with other people, which was amazing. See Alaska also sponsored an unplanned ahead of time trip for me to attend a conference in Fairbanks. And it was a tribal court conference, but it was with our ICWA team from various locations in Washington and Alaska. And it allowed me to take what was a remote internship, but really like enmesh myself with the team in person in a more wholesome way. And I got full support from See Alaska and Tlingit and Haida to do that. And I really think that that is a big factor in why I was considered for the open position they had. They were able to get to know me. I was able to get to know them. And I was also really able to see where I would connect my education with the actual work in practice. So it was definitely the connections that I was able to make across the board was the biggest takeaway I had.
Cool, exciting. Yeah, if there are different business reasons for traveling during the internship, even if you're remote, we definitely cover that as like a business trip, basically. So glad you were able to do that, Barbara. What is something you gained personally or academically from this experience?
Yeah, so again, personally, I was hired at Tlingit and Haida, this is the job that I would have hoped to get after I graduated from my undergraduate. So it feels like I was given kind of a head start, which is great because I'm a non-traditional student and I am a little older. So a head start into the job was really wonderful for me to have, although I am incredibly busy, admittedly. But also I was able to do my internship and this larger work. I'm working for an organization I want to work for. If I'm going to have to work for a living, which most, if not all of us will have to do, I'd like to like where I'm working and like what I'm doing. And the values that See Alaska had when I was doing the internship and the values that Tlingit and Haida has, it's just the place I want to be right now. And it's fulfilling more than just professionally, it's fulfilling personally to be able to work for somebody that supports me personally and professionally. And also, it brings me closer to my own community. I'm not Tlingit or Haida, I'm Tsimshian, but still working for these tribes brings me every day closer and closer to my own community, which is an invaluable thing.
Awesome. And last question, what piece of advice do you have for students who are interested in applying or applicants to the intern program?
Yeah, I would say with these internships, you really get out of them what you put in. So I would take a little bit of time to really think about what you want to get out of it, what you hope to learn from the internship you're applying for. That way you have goals in mind of what you would really like to see from that 10 weeks you might spend in that program. And then should you get one of those internships, I really recommend conveying those hopes and what you're hoping to get out of it with your supervisor, because they are there to support you on that journey, and help you meet your goals in that time. So really you get what you put in, but if you put in enough to get there, you're going to get so much more than you expect out of it. So.
Awesome. Yes, I think especially working remotely, it's so easy it can be easy to just, log in, do your thing. But yeah, if you're intentional, you are going to get so much more. So thank you, Barbara. Amazing. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we do have ICWA legal interns are, Plinkett and Hyde is looking to hire more of them for this summer. So if that is interesting to you, like Barbara said, she's studying social work. So if you're interested in social work in particular, that is a role that we have open for next summer as well.